Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 35 of the Mingled Yarncast. I'm your host, Stephen, also known as KnitFen on Instagram and Ravelry. And today we are going to be talking about clue number 2 for the Westknits mystery MusiKAL. And I'm going to give you 5 seconds to change the channel before the spoilers come. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. You've been warned. This has been a lot of fun. And today, as of today, which is Tuesday, the 14th of October, I have actually finished the second clue. Last episode, I showed you the first clue, which was unfinished at that time, but I finished that and part 2. So I'm going to show you my completed piece thus far. And here it is. Voila! Look at that. So I'm going to just sort of hold it here for a minute so you can take it in, see the colors, see the movement as it goes from the scallops of clue number 1 into the squiggles of clue number 2. This design has been really, really sort of captivating and fun. I'm going to sit back here a little bit so you can see the whole thing, and I will just talk you through the making of it a little bit. Try to find the best angle here. There we go. Okay, so let's start with clue 1, actually, because as of the last, in the last episode, as I said, I didn't show you my completed clue 1, but there it is. So you can see all 6 of the scallops. And I mentioned before that the orange, which is my color C in this arrangement, is going to be my solo color. And if you're doing this, then you already know that in the pattern, Stephen West says to basically hold off on color C for a little bit because it's going to have a big moment later on. And I thought maybe this was going to be the moment. I thought it was going to be one of these squiggles, and it would have been very, very vibrant and showy as a squiggle. And I could have done that. He says in the instructions for clue 2, he gives you the order that they should go in, and the order that he first suggests is going color A, which for me is the green, then color D, and then B. A, D, B. And the orange is the C, which is technically the main color since it's used most frequently. So I stuck with that. And I thought about changing it up because I saw some of the examples online where people did. There's any number of permutations of that order that people have done online already that you can see. But I thought, no, I'm going to trust what he says. Even though I'm ready for this solo moment for the orange, if it is not to be, it is not to be. And as I was working this, I realized why it is not to be yet. Because if you look at the scallops and you see the way that the sort of the color progression continues, right? The yellow welts sort of stretch out or thicken into these waves of squiggles as if the sound wave is getting bigger as it moves. And for that reason, it had to be, it doesn't have to be anything, but it makes the most sense to have it be the third color. I had thought too about swapping the blue and the green. I thought maybe if I had the blue, let me see if I can get a good, okay, this is the best I can do, I think. Here is where the blue and the green are mixed in the eyelet section of the scallops. So I thought if this had been blue, it would bring that out a bit more. And I suppose it would have. But it wasn't the suggestion that he put in the pattern. And I saw the reason why, because the scalloped edge at the top ends with color A. And continuing it on there kind of just makes logical sense and visual sense, which I see now. But I didn't know at the time. And of course, you don't know what comes next, so you never can be too sure, which is why I've just decided to follow his instructions blindly and not try to change anything, with this one. Maybe in the future I'll make another one where I will deliberately choose the colors more carefully. But because the nature of the piece, it's a mystery, I'm going to follow the clues as written. So, with that said, I love how in the scallops, I said this in the last episode, but the the orange, it's just like magma in the brioche section. It's lava moving underneath the surface, and it's so dynamically different than the other colors. It's a little bit of a threat. There's something exciting on the way, right? And it's waiting to emerge. Well, in this next section, it certainly is more present. It's not the most present thing. I think probably the yellow dominates more than anything. But the orange is helping it out quite a bit. And it's, yeah, it's fun, these little islets. Now, I will say something just about the process of making them. Um, in For each row of islets, there's two rows, a right side and wrong side, and on the right side you are um, basically doing a feather and fan kind of structure with I think it's 12 decreases and 12 increases, and 8 stitches in between them. And it's so interesting because I've done quite a few feather and fan pieces in the past, and normally you can see the feather and fan because it pinches together where you have done the decreases, and it fans out, hence the fan part, where you add the increases or the yarn overs. Here in this piece, you don't see them. All you see are the eyelets, because in the second row on the wrong side, on the way back, it's a knit two together, yarn over, repeat, 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 repeat. So all of that gets just that visually, that's all that comes out. Even I'll show you the back. Even on the back, you can't really see it too well. So I think that's really kind of interesting, the way that the structure is there, because creates it creates the ripples, it creates the curves, the bends, the flow, but it's not so visual in and of itself, which is really fascinating. But the so on the yarn over, or sorry, the knit two together yarn overs going on the back, there were a couple of places where I missed a yarn over or two, and didn't catch it till much later. I'm going to just show you, because you all know how I love highlighting my mistakes. Yeah, here's a spot right here where I seem to have missed, there you go, 2 yarn overs. That was frustrating. It made it very easy to get off count in the you know rows that followed. So that's, if you haven't done this piece yet, or if you're not at this clue yet, that would be my one little warning. Just be very careful on those rows. Make sure that you get the yarn overs, and make sure to, there's only one place that it increases, and that's at the tapered end here, and that's by doing a knit one through the back, or what is it called? Knit front back, KFB, on the 4th stitch at the beginning of each row on the right side. And I probably maybe missed 1 or 2 of those, although it's less obvious. Yeah, maybe I didn't. This actually, it looks pretty neat, that edge, I must say. So maybe I didn't. Maybe I got that one right. But I did miss some of the yarn overs in the other part. So let's see. What else can I tell you about it? When I saw the pictures that people posted online, it of course doesn't look very big when you just see the piece sort of by itself on the floor spread out. But as you can see from me holding it, it is quite large already. It's a big old thing by itself right now. And it's only halfway done. So that, of course, begs the question, what is going to come next? And so I had my thoughts before I read all the way to the end of the clue. I thought maybe, okay, so it's already got a bit of a triangle shape like this, right? So I thought maybe, maybe this is still what will happen. I think this might be the edge that gets worked next, and maybe it will continue on, um, sort of in this way, because then that way, that would make the scallops part of the center, and no, sorry, I'm covering my microphone. But anyway, it would make it drape this way ish. um, but I don't know. But I do know this. At the end of the pattern, it's said to put the live stitches, 230 of them, onto a second needle or onto spare yarn, which seems to suggest, if it's going on to spare yarn, that these live stitches are not what we will be working next, I don't think. And there's not much else to work next other than this side of the scallops, or I suppose this side of the scallops and this, but I just don't see where it goes from there. It makes the most sense that this should be sort of the end, right? And there we go. Ooh, it's like a it's like a 70s toga, isn't it? It's I feel like, I talked last time about what the colors suggest to me, and I mentioned Greek temples, medieval churches, Egyptian temples. It's still giving a lot of that, especially with the eyelets. Those are very similar to the pictures that I included the last time, which I'll put up here right now, full of the Greek temples. But it's also, of course, I mean, these waves, these grooves. It's very groovy, baby. It's very 60s, very 70s. Um, it's I also love how the the grooves grow. It gets groovier as it goes, so that at the end, the squiggles, or what he actually calls them in the pattern, are quite thick, 7 rows thick to be exact, and they are only 1 row thick at the edge over here. So bit by bit, they get slightly thicker as it goes along. And yeah, so it looks to me like, I don't know, a 70s album cover. It looks like my preschool nursery school, or what have you. These colors, because they're sort of, bright, and some primaries in here. Yeah, I think that's the feeling that I'm getting from them now. Which then, I guess, too, begs the question: what kind of music is this giving to me now? Um, I'm not hearing a lot of Sondheim, although maybe with the temple reference, maybe a funny thing happened on the way to the forum is in here somewhere. uh, Mamas and the Papas. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. But I do really love it. I'm super excited to see what the third clue is going to be. Um, and it's going to be a little bit of a struggle to get the next one done, because between here, I'll try to wear this as best I can, wearing all the ends, which I can't wait to weave in. That's going to be fun. Um, so there we go. Nah, that doesn't work very well. Try the other side. That's a little better, I think. Those scallops, they're something else, aren't they? So, as I was saying, it is mid-October, which means that this coming weekend, is Rhinebeck, the New York Sheep and Wool Festival, and I'm planning to be there. I don't know the exact date and time I'm getting there yet. I might arrive. Well, I might go up on Friday and stay the night. I might just go up on Saturday and stay one night. Still trying to work that out, but I do believe that I will be there on Saturday, and I think it would be probably best to say maybe noon for a meetup if people are going to be there and you'd like to come say hello to me. Of course, you can say hello at any time if you see me walking around. I do really invite you to come and stop me and introduce yourselves, and yeah, catch up. It doesn't have to be at the meet and greet, but I will be at the meet and greet if people are looking specifically for me at noon on Saturday. If that were to change, if there were to be a change of time or venue, in terms of a meet and greet. I will post that on here as a post on YouTube or on Instagram, so you can check either one of those places. But I think it should work out. Is there anything else to tell you? Anything to say at all? No, but right now I'm just enjoying playing with this, wearing it different ways, seeing how maybe it could go. Maybe this is a way. I'm also wondering this. It the pieces, the mystery knit-alongs I've done in the past, there's only been two, but they were both very symmetrical. This one is already so asymmetrical. Like no matter where it picks up, I doubt we would just do another set of scallops and squiggles. It's probably going to be something else. Um, but what? And I don't know. I just don't know. The geo gradient. Remember, it began with sort of a diamond, and it grew from there, and then it kind of had a top bit that rounded it off. And then last year, the Go-Go Dynamo had the three semicircles that joined together, and they kind of made their own arc. And then you added to that arc, and then added again to the arc, and then filled in the center. So the whole time there was symmetry to it that was visible. Right now, no symmetry. I mean, there is in the scallops if that is the center, but the way that the movement goes, the way that the motion goes, whoops, from here to there, I don't know. It's flowing a whole other way this time around, and I think it's really exciting. I know that he has done some asymmetrical shawls in his catalog of his back catalog, but all the ones I've worked on have been very symmetrical. I don't think there's a single one that's not. So that's why I'm expecting it to be, but I realize I shouldn't have expectations when it comes to predicting Stephen West. So anyway, I think that is it for our show right now. I hope you are enjoying working on the piece yourself. If you are, let me know what you think is going to be coming up next, what you anticipate in terms of techniques. And yeah, let me know too. Put in the comments if you're going to be at Rhinebeck so that I know to look out for you. And I started to say this before, but obviously introduce yourselves and please tell me your names, even if we've interacted in the past. I can't tell you how bad I am with names these days. Even my students who I teach from one semester to the next, if I don't teach them in the spring, I don't always remember. It just kind of, I feel like my brain is so saturated with names that they just start to fall away. There's only so much memory space in the old device up here. So anyhow, regardless, I do look forward to meeting you, and I will see you next time with clue number 3. Be well and happy knitting, everybody.